Hi, Northport High School. It's Miss Mack here for Wellness Week 2020, a wellness week that I'm sure we will all remember due to the very unique situation that we find ourselves in. I hope you are all doing well and hanging in there. I know it can be kind of difficult to be isolated from the people that we love and care about, and our everyday lives have been in total upheaval and very different from the way that they have previously looked. So I'm here today to offer you something that I hope will help you through this time and actually through the rest of your life. So what I'm going to talk about today, because I have just a short time with you, is something called loving kindness meditation. Meditation is this big umbrella term, and there are many different kinds of meditation. Loving kindness is one of those kinds of meditation. And it originates from the Pali word, which is the original Buddhist text, metta, M-E-T-T-A. And that word roughly translates to English as loving kindness. Sharon Salzberg, who is one of my favorite meditation teachers, she is kind of an expert in this type of meditation. And she actually describes love as connection. So I think that's a really helpful way to think of it. Also, and it's also why I want to talk about it today, because we feel very disconnected given the physicality of our situation right now. And so I think this practice will really help us to develop and maintain connection to ourselves and others. Let me just give a brief overview of what the actual practice involves. It's pretty simple. It just involves sitting in meditation, and during that meditation you offer yourself and others words of and phrases of loving kindness. So some examples of those phrases are, may I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be peaceful, may I live with ease. And you can tweak and alter the phrases for yourself and whatever feels right for you. Those are just some examples that you can use. So you start out by offering those words of loving kindness to yourself, and then you move on to what's called a benefactor. That is somebody who that's often described as someone, when you think of them, you smile. So it could even be a pet. It could be a sibling. It could be a parent. Anyone who, when you think of them, you smile, and you offer those same words and phrases of loving kindness to them. Then you move on to a neutral person. That could just be somebody, a cashier at the store. It could be somebody you pass on the street, and you offer them those same phrases. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. May you live with ease. Then you move on to a difficult person, and we all probably have people in our lives who have hurt us in some way or caused us pain, or maybe who we're holding a grudge against. And we offer those same words of loving kindness to them as well. Some people find this difficult to start off with, so you can leave that part out when you're just starting out. And then the last thing that we do is we offer the phrases of loving kindness to all beings everywhere. So we say, may all beings everywhere be happy. May they be healthy. May they be peaceful. May they live with ease. And that's it. That's the structure of the practice. And you can do it for varied amounts of time. I personally try to do it for at least 10 minutes a day. And the interesting thing about this practice is that it actually has been shown to work on our neural circuitry faster than mindfulness meditation. So there are some interesting studies that have been done on this specific kind of meditation. One which showed that our people who engaged in this compassion practice actually had increased connection between their prefrontal cortex, which is this area right here in the front of our brain that is very involved with guiding our behavior. It's involved in decision making and planning and organizing, and it's the thinking part of our brain. And it is the connections between this part of our brain and the areas responsible for joy and happiness were actually increased. So what that shows is that these compassion practices can actually increase altruism and altruistic behavior, which increases happiness. So that was kind of a cool finding. Another really cool study that I like was done on Tibetan yogis, and it had them go into an fMRI study. And just to backtrack a little bit, an fMRI is a functional MRI of your brain, and what that does is it shows us, you guys have probably all seen the images of scans of brain scans with different areas lit up and different colors, and basically what it can tell us is it can tell us what areas of the brain are activated and how activated they are. So they had Tibetan monks go into these fMRI scanners, and what they found is that when they were engaged in this compassion practice, the motor centers of the brain were actually activated, which indicated that they were prepared to actually go into physical motion to help somebody who was suffering, which is compassion. So, and those were very experienced Tibetan yogis that underwent that study. But really, really interesting findings, and I find it's super cool to look at all this stuff, because for me, knowing these concrete changes that happens to the neural circuitry of our brain is really beneficial to me for my practice, because it keeps me going. No, I can almost sometimes feel the neural changes that are going on. And what you notice too is it helps you make more altruistic decisions in your everyday life. And it also develops compassion for ourselves, which is something that we're not necessarily taught in Western culture. So it has all of these amazing benefits that are supported by research. And what I would like to leave you with today is the understanding that it's a practice, okay? We're not going to be expert meditators after one 10-minute session. And we have to be kind to ourselves when we sit down to do these practices, because our attention is going to wander. Even during a loving kindness practice where we're repeating phrases, we're going to get lost in thought. That's what happens. We're human. We just gently remind ourselves to come back to our attention to the present moment, which in the context of a loving kindness practice is those words and phrases. So I think it's kind of a good practice even for beginners, because it has this structure to it, and it gives us something to focus our attention on, which is the words and phrases. So I hope that is really helpful to all of you guys. I hope that you feel free to reach out to me if you need anything. I hope that you, I just want to give a quick plug for, we have posted on Google Classroom a gratitude letter for healthcare workers. My sister is a healthcare worker. She's a nurse at New York Presbyterian, and it's a really tough time for them all right now. So if we could just, in the spirit of compassion practice, offer them that letter of gratitude and take the time to write it for them, I know it would be helpful for them. It also will be beneficial for you, because gratitude is another way in which we can increase our happiness. So please take the time to do that if you can. And everybody stay safe and stay happy and stay healthy.